Welcome to the Sykes & Company PA video blog.
Well, once you've decided to sell that pharmacy, and as we discussed in the last video, have necessarily cleaned up your books so that your cash flow is being maximized, you need to gather your team of professionals to assist you in this process. That team should consist of a legal healthcare attorney. That's not your attorney across the street who handles your real estate transactions, who is your best friend from school. It is somebody who deals with pharmacy transactions in the pharmacy niche on a constant and continuous basis. There are people throughout the country, yes, throughout the country, that can represent you that are experts in these particular areas. We can discuss at a later time those particular individuals should you have a need. You obviously need an accounting advisor who is familiar with the pharmacy niche as we're discussing here today. And if they're not understanding DRFEs, PBMs, the impact of clinical services in the pharmacy and the direction that things are going, especially with data mining in place and a lot of other matters that have changed in the last 3 or 4 years in pharmacy, you probably have the wrong accounting CPA advisor in that process. So you need that person on your team as well. Certainly we could aid in that process as needed. That would be the core of your team that you would need as you begin that process, because as you begin to identify potential sellers, and again, you've got your books in order, we're going to want to get non-disclosure agreements, typically referred to as NDAs, in place between any interested third parties that you run into, that you talk to, or that come to you for potential purpose of purchase of your pharmacy. We want to make sure that any information that's typically going to be asked for on due diligence checklist, et cetera, will not be put out into the public domain. And if so, then you've got legal recourse to take legal action. So that's the first legal document that you need your legal healthcare attorney to assist you in. Once that takes place, we need to begin to look at the various ways of potential selling the entity that you have or the assets, which becomes a major issue. Are we selling assets? Are we selling the common stock? What's best for you? Are you an S Corp? You're a C Corp? Or your sole proprietorship? All those things enter into play in determining what may be the best course of action for you. So as we decide in deciding that process, your CPA advisor needs to take a look at what the maximum value could be, again, with knowledge of this industry with respect to selling assets only, and what the maximum value would be if you sell the common stock of the entity, as far as you are concerned as a seller. A thorough analysis of that needs to take place so that you can decide exactly which direction that you're going to go in as you begin to discuss and share due diligence information with interested third parties. Those become the important things that need to be considered before we take the next step.